to find that balance and put them all together and go for what you want. Go for what you want, go for what you love. And if not, create that space for yourself. Go from nothing. And this is somebody who's saying from nothing to something. Fight for it. It doesn't matter how long it takes, but once you find what you're passionate about, I can tell you, you'll be waking up every morning. Nobody will be telling you to go hard. You will go hard. I kid you not. You will go hard. So with that, you can be able to fight through the unhealthy competition and create that space for yourself where it's your own lane. It's your own lane that you're running at. Therefore, it will be a healthy competition. You'll be at a healthy state, and it will all about you and your purpose.
In a nutshell, what I've gotten from what Nkatha is saying, before I give it back to you, Ellie, run your own race. We get it wrong when we are all running different races. My lane is not your lane. I'm doing a half marathon, you're doing 100 meters, you're doing 100 kilometers. We're not doing the same marathon, we're not doing the same race. And once we figure out that, we realize that we are doing different races, it will be easy for you to focus on your lane and work from the inside out. Do not try to change someone else before you work on self. So work on self, and then someone will see the change from you. It's from you to them, it's not from them to you. Back to you, Ellie.
Well, the lanes are laughing because they know what happens on air stays on air. What happens behind the scenes stays behind the scene. Noreen, you have something to add on this?
What I can add on what Nyanduko and Victoria have said, I think as an individual, you cannot expect change if you continue doing things the same way. You have to change the way you do things. Then you'll realize the change that comes with it.
Ellie, how many times have you heard about awesome script writers, awesome poets, awesome people on stage, amazing actors? And we have auditions. I've gone to a lot of auditions. I'm an actor as well. I've gone to a lot of auditions, and sometimes you do not get the role, not because you're not good enough. You just do not get the role because someone else with a name, someone else who has built their brand better, someone else who has been in the industry longer is in the same audition. And it could be healthy, it could be unhealthy, but what if you think you're good enough for it? Sometimes these spaces, they say the online space is big enough to accommodate all of us. And when you change our mindset and start approaching this idea from, okay, I did not get the role. How about I create this role for myself? How about I create my own space where I can make my own content, sell my own content? It will be easier for us as artists, okay, personally as an artist, to start seeing this from a point where I'm not mad because Brenda Wairimo got a role. I am in a mindset where I can understand that she's been in this longer. But now society is, this is how society is, sadly. Society is built in a way that if I go for an audition with, let's say, Brenda, or I don't know, I'm not, the chances of me getting it are very slim, because this is someone who has been doing this, and for them to trust you with a role, and they have someone who they have seen do it. So what if you create your own stuff? I love what Flacco and Crazy Kena do. They created their own spaces, and they made them, they made you want them in your spaces. They made you want to watch their content. I love what Cartoon Comedian is doing as well. They made you want to watch their content, and they own their space. We're in a space where we want to fight for TV. We all want to be on TV because you saw me on TV for one episode. Now you imagine I have connections that will be. How many times have people called me, or you, Noreen, or you, Victoria, and asked, or you, Ellie, and asked you about connections because I saw you speaking to so and so, you can connect me to them. That is how society is built right now. And as much as it is sad, it is the reality of life right now. And I legit have so much to say about this unhealthy competition. Victoria, how many people have tried to be you? There's a difference between having Victoria as your role model and wanting to be Victoria, And when I'll come here, try the hair, try how you talk, try everything to be Victoria, even change my name to Nyandukori, something close to Victoria. But at the end of the day, there's only one Victoria Nkatha, And the sooner we realize, and this is what brings the unhealthy competition, because now I want to be Victoria and do what Victoria does, and when I cannot get to be like Victoria and get the influence that Victoria has, I will be mad at society. I will go and take and snitch at someone else's page for someone else who brought them. I'm not going to mention names. It is sad, but it
And
is
so
the
I have
reality of
two
life.
things. Yeah, I have two things to add on to that because there are two perspectives onto that. That topic is actually very, very sensitive because it goes into situations where when people cannot achieve what you're achieving simply because they've tried your tactics and they realize that it's not working for them, they end up getting very depressed. Look at the socialite lifestyle, yeah? How many girls have tried to be Vera Sidika? How many girls have tried to be Huda Monroe? How many girls have tried to do all these things? And then how many girls have we lost in terms of them getting to a point where they cannot run that race because they're not there? Because there can
Yeah.
only be one Vera Sidika. However,
Mhm.
another aspect onto it is you mentioned something about connections and people on that aspect. One question I would like to ask is that unhealthy competition is not only on me and what I want to do. Unhealthy competition also is in terms of some other people. You have people who, fine, I may not have connections, but Likuyani may have the connections. However, Likuyani does not want to share his connections simply because
Mhm.
he's him. He does not want me to come and bypass him,
Yeah.
and he does not want me to go to run the race faster than him. That
Mhm.
becomes unhealthy competition. And to
Very.
everybody, now I've become the host and I've taken over Likuyani's position. No, we look at it from that direction as well, from that aspect as well. That is also unhealthy competition where somebody goes in, you know that you can help someone, you know that somebody can go up there. However, you have the ability to help someone, but you choose not to simply because you don't want somebody to bypass you. What do you guys think about that?
Each and every person has a role to play in this ecosystem that we call life. So let us not focus on trying to be like them. Let us focus on trying to grow together and to achieve our common goals. That is the first one. The second one, unfortunately, we live in a society that is constantly calling out for competition. And this competition, there is a thin line between it being productive in a positive way or productive in a negative way. It's up to us to choose which side of the bread we want to be, either the side of the butter or the crust. It's up to us. So, if I may bring in the contributions from the viewers, if you allow me, Madam Host.
Okay.
We have quite some contributions tonight. We have Susie. There is Susie here. Susie loves Susie. She says, exactly, this is what I'm expecting to hear. She says she's enjoying the show, and these are the kind of candid discussions she wants to hear from us. We also have Purity Kirema who says, I'm here. Thank you for being here, Purity. We appreciate you. We have Jida Javan, all the way in Kakamega, says, great session. Thank you for being with us. And he hopes to be with us next time. We definitely like visitors on this show. It's not about us, it's about them. And then we have Fifi Pats, who is always a great contributor on this platform, say, we all grow as different rates, which brought in my analogy of the five fingers. And well, of course, we have Susan Achochi, who is loving and enjoying the show. I think she has some great funny faces over there. And I have one reaction from Suzanne Mutai, who says, I think cheating for a position will not go far, but waiting is not a solution either. Finding purpose is what we should do. And this is a great point that Nkata ideally touched on. Thank you so much, Suzanne Mutai.
Likuyani,
Yes?
Likuyani, I touched on it because she wrote it. That's my mother.
Oh, thank you, mommy. That's a supportive mommy. I hope mine was also technical savvy, but I think she might be sleeping. She will watch the replay later on. I have a very great contribution here from Fifi Parts. It's a long one, but I will try to paraphrase it. No judging, okay, no judging it is, but in our education system, some units or subjects ain't really necessary, but are compulsory to take, whether we are talented in it or not. And I will carry it at that. And that's actually a discussion that we need to have, that some of these things we get into ourselves into might not necessarily be who we are. So I'm not asking us to stop to study. I'm asking us to pursue our dreams, pursue our passions, pursue those things that bring some sort of satisfaction to our hearts. Another contribution from our viewer, we have yes, Kate Chennai. She says she's proud of you, Vicky. I think, Vicky, tonight you're taking over the show. What a great support from your friends and family. That's what we want to see here. Concluding remarks. We have 8 minutes to go. Noreen, what do you have to tell us about grading and comparison as we close this topic?
At the moment, what we are doing as teachers, or the CBC system that has just come in grading, we don't necessarily, as I said earlier, we don't grade according to the numbers, like so and so is number one and now you're number two because of this and this. You're grading according to the individual's ability in certain area, learning area, that is it. So, as I said, in a learning area where you realize that I just mentioned the exceeding expectation, approaching expectation, meeting expectation, and below expectation. So when you're looking at an area, for example, that is mathematics activities, that's where you find like we have a topic, maybe let's say in the lower primary section, whereby you find that there is an area of the subtopic or the topic of sorting and grouping. So under sorting and grouping, you're looking at sorting and grouping according to colors, according to shapes, or according to colors and shapes. Now you as a teacher, you have to look at this learner. Now during that lesson, we are looking at sorting and grouping according to colors. Now, one, for you to identify whether your learner is exceeding expectation or below expectation, or the two expectations there in the middle. First, exceeding expectation. Is the learner able to identify and classify or group the shapes according to colors? And also relate them with the immediate environment. If your learner is able to meet that expectation, that means that he is exceeding expectation.
CBC is an amazing curriculum. How many teachers have been trained to make it work? How well are they trained, and how much patience do they even have to see this through? What are the chances that it's actually going to work? What are the chances that the ministry will put in the funds needed and the manpower needed to see this through? If 100% transition has been a challenge up to this point, because they're encouraging 100% transition from primary school to high school. What classes, what infrastructure is there to accommodate these kids? Story for another day. We will talk about the 100% transition thing early. Now back to art and healthy competition and the importance of art, and the relation between art and this, the competence-based curriculum. Now, I feel it's an amazing curriculum because it allows it is learner focused. So the teacher is able to know where the learner, where the strengths are and what the weaknesses are. Now, if our curriculum, some of us went to school and did things like mathematics. I honestly do not know why I need it in my life. I will never understand why I need it. But I'm good. My English is good. I needed the English. And when you get to a point where we will allow our children to specialize at an early age, I do not know if we will get there in 3090, but we should get to a place where we allow them to specialize, because our curriculum has so much that is just too much to take in for learners. Just tell me where you've ever used Sauti Guna and Sauti Siguna, Nkata. Tell me. Just tell me. Anywhere. Anywhere. I'm just saying our curriculum has so much that we do not need. And once we start focusing on what we actually need, our economy will even grow. Because once you start encouraging kids, our curriculum is encouraging kids to focus on bookwork. If you're not performing, you'll not go for drama festivals. Why? I had a chemistry teacher, by the way, who almost made me not go for drama festivals because I did not know what chemistry was. I have no idea up to this point. Why? If this kid has shown interest in this, in art, let them be. And that is why I envy the whites. If a child shows interest in music, they're taken to music school, and they're not taken to a mathematics class to do. I don't know anything in mathematics, honestly, so I can't say any topic specifically. So if our system would allow people to just go for what they can do, we would probably have progressed, and maybe we would have been in a better place, and this there would not so much competition competing for the little jobs available because everyone has a degree in media. How, Gather, do you know how many people have a degree in media studies?
So many. And communications.
Yes, almost everyone. I think if I go for a diploma, mine will also become a degree in media. I do not know if we legit need all these things. Like if we could, if what Akina and Noreen are doing is actually the future. It is beautiful. It is so beautiful, and I really hope that it could be, it could be done everywhere, because there are places, I can promise you, Noreen, there are places in this country that have not heard about CBC. And I know you can agree with me. People who have no idea that there is something called CBC. They introduced Sijui the laptop project. God knows where it went to. There are places who in this country, people who have never seen electricity. So the practicality of these things that that are being brought, and I honestly think that one of the ways out of this is art. And the sooner parents start realizing that you could have a kid who will not be teacher current in class. They do not know one thing about what chemistry is, or what biology, or what bones are, for God's sake. Just leave that to the doctors. Just if your child wants to sing, encourage them, and don't tell them that if you're not performing well in mathematics, you're not going to sing. If they want to, that is probably what is going to bring food to their table. So I'll get emotional. So someone else continue.
You don't have to get emotional because it's all about the heart, and we are here to talk of matters that are close to the heart.
Allow me to say something.
Very
I just
shortly, Nori,
want.
we are out of time.
Oh! I think I'll take longer.
Oh,
No,
you have
come on
one
and
minute
say
to
it. Let her say it.
Yeah.
Okay, Nyanduko. The reason why I feel like the reason why we go to school to study other like mathematics class when you're good at something else, I feel like this class, or maybe let's say physics, let's say chemistry, or what do we call it, the mathematics lessons and all that. The reason why we are just meant to attend the lesson, that is my perspective though. I feel like it is an opportunity for us to develop critical thinking and problem solving. You understand? Yeah,
I promise
in
I
a
will
way.
not understand.
And also, once we develop the critical thinking and problem solving, it will help us in a different area in life. It doesn't necessarily means that umesoma chemistry now all like you need to focus fully in your entire life vitu zenye ulisoma chemistry. It is only a way of triggering your mind to think a little bit better and faster on how to solve issues or approach other issues in another area of life. That
I
is
do
what
not
I
disagree. I do not disagree, Noreen. I just think that the information was basically too much. If that was all for critical thinking, it was a lot. It was too much. My
There
take.
we have it. Nyanduko doesn't want to be a critical thinker because it's TMI for her. However, as I close down, I would like Kata to address this. I have no idea if you did, but if you did, please let me know. This is from Wesley. I know
He says,
she's
quick
having
question.
trouble reading.
Suppose
Can I help you out?
suppose no, no. Suppose the grind or ambition pushes someone towards unhealthy competition. Do we have some trends or traits to watch out for to help someone to know when they are crossing over to the other side? Number one, I don't your grind and your ambition, as long as it aligns with your purpose, cannot push you towards unhealthy. What pushes you towards unhealthy is your thinking level towards what you're doing. I started out by saying the four things that make you not have healthy competition is when you're doing what you're doing just because you want validation and you want attention. And I don't think that if you're working in accordance with your purpose, you will be doing it for attention or validation. And if it becomes now for attention or validation, that is one of the red flags. Number two, when you realize that you will do anything, whether it's cheating, killing, stealing, to be able to get to the top, then that's another red flag for you to realize that, hey, I am overstepping. I am getting to a point of it is not healthy anymore. Number three, when you realize that you feel as if the market is not enough, when you feel as if there are people who are making it and you're not, there is enough success to go around. And like we said, stay on your lane, you will get there. That is another red flag when you start feeling anxiety because you're feeling as if there's not enough success. There's not enough success. I cannot get it. That is another red flag. The last one, when you realize that your ambition or whatever you're doing it to show off to somebody else, and you're feeling like, let me do it because I want to show my family that I can build a house. I want to show my friends that I can become, I can do, I can be. That is another red flag. That all of a sudden becomes unhealthy competition. You're no longer doing what you are meant to do. You're no longer doing what your purpose to do. It's no longer your ambition, because when I look at ambition, I'm looking at somewhere where I want to be in terms of who I want to become and my destiny and my person and my purpose. That is what I want to do. Therefore, it does not have anything to do with anybody else. I don't need to show anybody off apart from me being better than I was yesterday, getting a closer step to getting to become who I am. That is when you realize that I am doing the right thing and I'm chasing my ambition on a healthy path. And when I don't need to compromise on my integrity, my self-worth, my diligence for me to make it, I am doing it in the right way, in a proper way. Regardless of my setbacks, I am still staying upright. I am doing it good. That is just it. So that would be my input for that.
Well, Victoria Kata has a lot to put about the perspective of looking at things as they come. We'll have the perspective of looking life as it is. Nyanduko and Noreen, if I bring you back on board, do you think we have a future? And how can we resolve this unhealthy competition among students and among artists? Noreen.
What I can say is, first of all, we need to realize that our personalities are different. We all have different personalities, and now we, as teachers or as caregivers or any other person that is looking up after anyone or children or something. I'll dwell mostly with kids because that is where I am. That is where I am. And I feel like once I notice the personality or I learn the personality of a child, I will help her or I'll help him to be successful in his own way. There'll be no need of trying to do things to please parents or to please people that my management in the school. You understand? So I feel like we will handle people differently because they are different. We'll handle them according to their personalities because even the personalities themselves, they have a characteristics that brings out the person himself.
Mm.
So that is what I will go for, or that is what I'll do as a teacher to make sure that I don't lead my students, or I not encourage healthy competition among my learners.
Mm.
Nyanduko, thank you.
No, sad reality, competition, unhealthy competition among artists is deeply rooted. And there's probably no way out of it at this point. It is finding your purpose, like Victoria said. And if I realize that this art is what is pushing me towards unhealthy competition, it's probably time it's probably not my calling, it's probably not what I should be doing. And when artists will realize that there's enough success to go around, I love that statement, there Victoria put it, there's enough success to go around, there's enough fame to go around, there's enough endorsements and other things to go around for everybody. Like there's enough internet space for everyone, there's enough space on YouTube for everyone. It starts with me as an artist, not enjoying when someone else comes down, not finding people to hack someone else's channel, not finding people to just trash talk other people's content. And the only way is one person. It is from the inside out. It is from me to you. That's basically all I can say.
Thank you so much, Nyanduko, for that mind-opening perspective about art. And of course, we'll be wrapping up in a few. But just before I do, any passing shots from you, Nkava?
So yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed the session today. We've definitely enjoyed it. I have definitely enjoyed it, and I have heard a lot of perspectives, and I've learned something new in terms of the teaching system as well from Noreen. So I thank you very, very much from that. There's a lot to discuss and to work on in terms of unhealthy competition, but the most important thing and the parting, or rather the takeaway from my end, is stay on your lane, stay on your lane and do what is best for you. Do not do anything in terms of the copy, in terms of other people, because the copy can never be as good as the original. Remember that who you are is what determines everything. Even twins cannot be the same. One might be a scientist, the other one might be a musician. They can never be the same. I cannot do what my brother is doing and do it as good as he's doing. I can do it in my own lane, but I cannot try and do it as he's doing and be good at it. Never. I can never be number one by the answers that I give in my examinations with the other person's answers, because they might not work for some of the questions that I have and I might not understand it. Therefore, I may not even write it in the same way. It might not even make sense. Remember, stay in your lane, do what you need to do for you. Don't do it for anybody else. Don't do anything to please nobody. The only person that you should be looking out for is you and your creator. That's just it. Other than that, find your purpose. This is something that is very, very important. Don't do anything that's aside from your purpose. Find your purpose, follow it, and trust me, whether it's fame you're looking for, whether it's wealth, whether it's recognition, or it's just fulfillment, you will find it in your purpose.
Thank you. Find your purpose. And in my closing remarks, this is my takeaway tonight. I paint this picture. Each time you pick up a very nice dress from the stores and you wow at it, think Each time you walk into a showroom, see a very, very well done car and beautiful if you want to describe it. Think each time you see a very good plastic surgeon who has done a great job on a patient who was probably having skin issues and you wow at it. Think each time you walk into a restaurant, eat a nice meal, and wow at it and at the aroma. Think because it's all in art. Art is the philosophy of life, and life must always depend on art. The moment and the day we realize and embrace art, we'll all have something to be happy and smile about.
Let us take note of what we've learned today, and let us always be very confident uh, in ourselves. Let us develop this the sense of confidence in us, and always believe in yourself. And just know, always tell yourself that you are the best, and there is no one like you, because you're different, because that is you. You're just special. You are like, you're beautiful. You are everything that anyone, everything good that anyone can think about. So that is what I can leave you with tonight.
Um, Run your own race, you know, just run your own race, stick to your lane, do what works for you, find your purpose and run with it. Hizi zingine zote ni side shows, just do what works for you.
So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a blessing to be part of this. And as we said in the beginning, our handles at Victoria and Katha, Victoria underscore Katha, and Noreen.
Noreen Amata on Facebook, and Noreen Likuyani on Instagram, Teacher Noreen on YouTube, Noreen Likuyani also on Twitter.
At Nyenduko254 on Instagram, at Nyenduko254 on YouTube, at Amy Nyabuto on Facebook.
And thank you very much, my panelists tonight. You made it very, very bearable to stay, even with the freaking internet connection. I apologize. And for everybody that is watching, yes, I am in Nairobi, Kenya, enjoying my holiday down here, but there is no holiday without art. And that's why tonight we say Asante Sana for joining us. And wherever you're watching us from, you're welcome for other sessions that will be coming your way every Friday right here on Facebook. You can follow our Facebook handle on the arts at, that is the arts in heart. I repeat, that is the arts in heart. And we have, you can also easily follow us via Likuyani Eli or Eli Likuyani. And because Nyanduko is the brain behind this session, you follow her on Nyanduko 254. We have Victoria and Kata all the way in Denmark. Thank you for always making time for us. And her handle, as you said, is responding to live, YouTube, Facebook, and that is Victoria underscore Kata on our Twitter and of course on Instagram. Teacher Noreen, thank you very much for your time and also spending time to just share your thoughts with us. We do appreciate you. Until next time, guys, have a great evening wherever you are, great morning if it's in Australia, and of course, great night in Nairobi, Kenya, the land of Hakuna Matata. Ciao, take care, and God bless.